One aspect that I think is very important, of course, you have the traditional way of, going to college and being specialized in one discipline, and trying to grow in that discipline. And you will see there's a lot of people that are very successful typically in academia because they are the guru of, protein X that they study for the last 30 years. So first of all, they have 30 years of experience, so of course they are successful, but also because they were very now in the kind of thing that they wanted to do. People also like to slice, the overall activity in terms of I do only discovery research, I don't do applied research. And then you have people who say I do only applied research, I don't do basic technology. I think what I have been able to do is by training is, I think I am just curious. So I have been, really trained as a very interdisciplinary person. So first of all, I started in biochemistry because I was interested by medicine, but I didn't like medicine because the way it was taught to was very focused on, just learning without knowing what was the principle behind it, typically in chemistry and biochemistry. So, I thought it was quite frustrating. So I say biochemistry, at least you know more about, the detail of the mechanism. And then, I got very interested because, indeed, of that discovery of the atomic force microscope, a scanning tunneling microscope at that time. And one summer what I did was, I learned, in fact, in the newspaper that IBM was getting the Nobel Prize for that discovery, and they were describing it, and I thought it was quite exciting. So what I did is I called the PI, in fact, the investigator at IBM, and I said, you know what, you have the summer, and we needed to do some internship for the summer. I said, I want to come to you and see what we can do with that microscope. And it was Heini Rohr at that time, and told me, you know what, I have nothing for you to do because you're a biologist. I do just physics here. So, and then I say, I really want to come, and he said, okay, I'll call you back later, and I need to think about it. And 3 weeks later, he called me back and said, okay, you can come, but I don't know what you will be doing because you're a biologist. And, making the story short, at the end we were very successful and we did the first imaging of biomolecules using, in fact, that microscope. But what it stimulated to me was really the fact that now I was, more interested by physics than biology. So I switched and I did my PhD indeed in physics. But I learned, the fact that you start now to think about doing science, in a very broad way. And you talk to people, different languages, I think, when you are a chemist, a physicist, or biologist. At the end, it's the same science, but it's, viewed differently. So I think getting that kind of very interdisciplinary background was very helpful. And then everything I did was really mixing up different domain of, expertise and technology. When you have a good background in science, you can do a lot of different things as well. So you have two approaches. One is you focus only on what you want to do for the next 30 years in one field and try to be good at that. Or you try to be more interdisciplinary and, try to be bringing new ideas in different fields while you are growing, in different activities. I think, success is just, I think, being curious, hardworking. I believe that anybody can succeed. It's just hardworking, and some people work differently, but, it's just being motivated and driven, and then think that things with no end point. And I was like you, I thought, oh, you know what, after college, that's it, I'm done, I have my diploma, and I go, and I will just do something. And then it's never enough, because you realize you always have to do something else. So, for us, for example, success will be measured for, I think, the center, when we get a technology that reaches the marketplace and that someone uses, and we hope it's in the medical field. But someone one day will use, a clinician will use our technology and provide a unique information to the patient that have a direct impact on that life of that person. I think that then I think we would have been successful and accomplished what we wanted to do.
Well, one thing he said, don't get discouraged because there's going to be a lot of roadblocks, and I'm easily discouraged. So hearing that from someone as successful as him is kind of motivational. And I thought it was really cool how he was talking about a fashion show that he did with clothes that incorporated some of his technology. So I thought that was neat, combining like the field of art and science into one. So it's pretty diverse.
Nothing is going to be handed to you on a silver platter, and you need to work really hard for everything, so it's not just going to come naturally.
One of the biggest things that he stressed was kind of be very broad, be interdisciplinary. Like he said, he started with biochemistry and then went to physics and then went kind of industry, and now he's back to like academics. So it's okay to go kind of crooked. I guess you don't just have to go straight line.
Trial and error. If something doesn't work, go back to the problem and see what other things you could do differently, and know that in order to reach your goal, there's going to be things that are going to stop you and problems that you have to overcome. So,
like, I kind of have an end goal of what I think I want to do, but going a different way is probably how it's going to happen, because you don't always get exactly what you want. You just kind of have to work with what you have, and eventually you'll get there.
I would say that it's okay to have a lot of different things that you're really interested in, because that's just like me. I don't want to just do one thing. I want to try a bunch of different things, and not just focus on one subject.
For me, myself, I don't know what I want to do yet, so I can kind of get ideas, like try different stuff, see what I like, see what I don't, see what I feel I can pursue and take the farthest to where I want to be.